Hi, I'm Doug Rawson, founder and CEO of BaseBuilders. In this video, we're going to talk about expediting your billings. Now, you might recall from another video, and if you don't recall, you might want to go watch our other video, where we covered the timeline of your cash flow. And in that video, we showed how it's 25 to 30 days from the time you earn your fees until you get your invoice in the mail. And what we're going to talk about today is how to compress that time. So, let's dive in. First thing you're going to need is real-time data. You need a system where all your data is up to date so that when it's time to do your billings, you're not having to run around the office looking for receipts and documents and pieces and parts so that you can do your invoicing. And what you really want to have is a simple integrated system that has all your expenses, all your time, all your projects and their phases and their percentage complete in one system. You'd be amazed at how many firms we see on a regular basis that are doing this with a bunch of spreadsheets duct taped together. So they've got one spreadsheet with expenses and another one with timesheets on it. And if unfortunately you're one of those firms, then it's taking you way too long to get your billings done. Remember, doing your billings does not generate revenue for the firm. Once you get one of these systems, you're still going to need to update your processes in most cases. And what I mean by that is you need to have processes in place so that your project managers who are running the projects are keeping that information up to date. You also need to ensure that each and every one of your employees are doing their timesheets on a daily basis in a timely manner. If they're waiting till the end of the week to put in their timesheets, or God forbid they're doing it, less often than that, then you're not having real-time data. This needs to be done regularly so that you have the information you need to make the best decisions for your firm. So, get those processes updated so that things are flowing smoothly for you. You also, in my opinion, you need to empower your project managers with the ability to generate their own invoices. You heard me right. When I ran my firm, our project managers generated their own invoices. Why did we do it that way? Well, because they're the ones that have all of the knowledge about the project. They know where things stand. They've had conversations with the client. They're the ones that don't have to go looking for as much information when it's time to put the billings together. So empower your project managers. Now, the way the system that we built works is your invoices start out as a draft invoice, and that's just a signal to everybody that it's being worked on. When it's done being worked on, then the project managers can mark them as approved. And that would be the signal to accounting or billing or your office manager that it's time to issue it to a client. And once they get it in the mail, the status updates to issued, and then finally you've got the last status where it's been paid. So give the responsibility to your project managers, and because what this does, when you have them doing their own billing, it kind of forces them to take a holistic approach to their project and gives them more responsibility over it. And as I mentioned earlier, they're the ones that have all the project knowledge, so they know exactly what needs to be billed. We see this time and again where the front office goes and runs these reports, and they give those reports to the project managers, so the project managers can then tell the front office of what they need to be billing. Why don't you just have them generate the invoices when they're doing it? I guarantee you it is not going to impact their productivity if they take a few minutes to generate an invoice, and it's going to get done faster and more accurately. Another issue that we see happen regularly, and this is why project managers need to be involved in the billings, is you're billing based on the number of hours that were worked. Let's take an example. Let's assume that we're doing, let's say, DD, phase and we've budgeted 100 hours and 50 hours have been accrued and you're going to bill a client. How much of the fee are you going to bill for? Are you going to bill for 50% of the fee? But what if 75% of the work has been completed? Shouldn't you be billing your client for a full 75% of the fee? And on the contrary side to that, what if the hours were spent but only 25% of the work had been completed? Should you be billing the client for half of the work when only 25% of it's done? You see, those budgeted hours, as accurate as they are, they're never quite right, and sometimes mistakes are made. So just looking at the hours budgeted versus the hours accrued may not tell you exactly what you should be billing. You need to be looking at both the drawings and the plans so you know how far complete they are, and at the time spent when you determine how much you're going to bill each month. Now, I know some of you may not like this delegating to the project managers to do their billings. So what we do see some of our users doing is the front office will draft the invoices, but they're just in the system and electronically PMs go in, review them, edit them, make any updates they need to, and then mark them as approved. And then it comes back to the front office and gets issued. So everybody's going to have their own process, but it works extremely well for us to have our project managers drafting their own invoices. Now, if you're going to have the front office do this, and it's going to have to get back to the project managers for approval, you need to minimize that time. 1, maybe 2 business days at most. Don't let this get in somebody's in basket and just sit there, because time is money. And what I've discovered, and maybe you have too, clients don't pay you before you bill them. So until you get that invoice in your client's hands, the chances of you getting paid are nil. Now, we used to do weekly billings. Now, don't get all crazy on me here. It was really simple. When we completed a milestone, and let's say it was on a Tuesday, and maybe it was the second week of the month, if we didn't attach the invoice to the plans when we delivered them, we at least drafted it up and got it ready to go and got it approved. And then every Friday, our bookkeeper's mission was to take all of the approved invoices and get them in the mail and get them issued. So once a week, we were sending invoices out. No, we did not invoice every project. Some weeks no invoices went out, and some weeks 5, 6, or 8 might have gone out. It all depends on the ebbs and the flows of the projects and their schedules. And this was primarily for our fixed fee projects, because our hourlies we were typically billing on a monthly basis based on the hours spent. But 80% of our work was fixed fee, so we had a lot of invoices that, were dated on the 12th of the month or whatever it was that we actually completed the work. We were not going to wait till the end of the month to bill for work that we completed in the beginning of the month. All of this is predicated on keeping your project information current. That means we need buy-in from your project managers that they're going to keep the phase status and progress up to date, that they're going to make sure that all the production personnel are getting their timesheets turned in a timely manner, all expense reports are getting turned in, and expenses are properly logged and charged to the right projects, and if they're billable, they're noted as such. But if you just keep that information up to date, then come time to do your billings, it's going to go super smooth, super quick, and not be such a burden. And this is also going to get the invoice into the hands of your clients much sooner, which means you're going to get paid much sooner as well. Thanks for watching. I really do hope that you got value out of this content. And if you did, would you do me a favor and share this with your associates and colleagues? We want to help as many people and as many firms as we can reach new levels of success. Thank you.